Originally, the idea was to have them facing off against each other, Street Fighter style, with life bars included. But I abandoned that idea. I opted more for both of the characters back to back in their iconic poses, as if to ready themselves to face off against some opponents, from outside the canvas. Okay, we gotta get started fast, gotta get away from the blank canvas or the support. As soon as we get it, or the faster we get done with it, the better. We're gonna be able to work. It doesn't really matter if the lines are straight, if they're accurate, as long as they're somewhere, that we can work with them, somewhere approximating what we want, what we have in our head. It's fine. It's gonna facilitate the whole process as long as we just take that first step and stop being afraid to touch the canvas. Just do it fast, do it quick. It doesn't really matter if it's wrong or if it's crooked, it's bent. It doesn't really matter. You just gotta get on with it so we can keep going with the painting. Now some lines are gonna be darker, just so I can have a better idea of which ones I want to keep, what I want to be in front, what I want to keep behind, and just get a better idea of what I really want to keep. Next step is to shade. Now the main reasons to start with the shadows and the shading is because the background is light gray, so it's gonna allow me to just divide the forms and the lights and shadows easier, get a better idea of how it's gonna work. Since it's already light, I'm gonna be able to just play around with the shadows a bit better. Maybe I like one here, maybe not. Yes, it's just the whole process. It has to be a bit fun, a bit more playful. You gotta be willing to make mistakes and just keep going. If you make a mistake, you either use it or erase it or paint over it. It doesn't matter, but once you have something on, you can play off it much easier than having nothing. And I'm gonna start with now first was the Karate Kid, which I have in the background, I have him behind Jackie Chan's Drunken Master. So I started with him. Now with the Drunken Master, I took a bit more time, mainly because I want him more defined. But they're both gonna be alright. They're gonna be loosely painted. After all, this is an Oilsketch. It's not really a formal painting. It's just to get a feeling of the characters. Originally, the idea was to have them facing off against each other, Street Fighter style, with life bars included. But I abandoned that idea. I opted more for both of the characters back to back in their iconic poses, as if to ready themselves to face off against some opponents, from outside the canvas. Now there aren't really gonna be details. There might be some inferred details or something that looks like a detail, but really there's not gonna be any. I'm not gonna go too small on the painting brush, and I'm not really looking for it. Like I said, I wanna keep it simple, keep it more of a feel for the character than anything else. Just play around really with the colors and the shadows and the lights, the bounce light, everything. Just play around with it and see what turns out. Now once the light and shadows done, I'm gonna add even more light just to highlight some areas or some aspects of it, maybe the pecs, maybe the abdomen, you know, the any round shapes or anything that I perceive as being at an angle towards the light and receiving more light. That goes for both characters, but obviously the character that's behind, in this case the Karate Kid, is gonna be dominated more by shadows with high contrast to the light, so that it's more of a silhouette or just a bit of light to make his form pop a little more, because he's gonna be in shadow. And as far as the Drunken Master, you know, I will pay more attention to him, you know, just so I can keep him in the foreground and have him steal and have him be the focus of attention. Now also I'm gonna have to darken the shadows on him even more than the Karate Kid. The Drunken Master is gonna have some really dark shadows. Maybe I'll use a little bit of black, maybe not. I don't, you know, nothing's really decided. I probably am gonna come back and use black where shadows start or where lines converge, like the armpit of the left arm, maybe, you know. Also, well, you know, the belt, I'm gonna use some in there. But that's probably it. I don't think I'm gonna use much more black on that. Even the hair is gonna be a little blue, a little brown. Gonna have some light. Just play around with nothing too dark besides those areas mentioned previously. And as for the highlights, you know, I think we're probably done with those. Though, you know, maybe not. Let's see how it plays off once I get the background started, or how it works around the background. I almost forgot about the details on the container there, so let's get those over with and see how it looks. I'm gonna use first some grays, then some direct white right over it, mainly because I really want to get the highlights bright in that area, mainly so I can have a bit more of equilibrium with the figure and that dark spot or dark circle. As for the background, I'm gonna probably start with grays and continue on with some warm colors, nothing too bright, nothing with too bright a chroma, so that it doesn't steal the attention from the characters. As far as the bottom side, I'll probably opt for some greenish or something. We'll see. It doesn't really matter what it is, as long as it doesn't steal the attention. After all, this is just an Oilsketch, but you know, I do want to have him be on something. I don't just want to have them be in an empty space. So that's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna have to cast some shadows and some horizon, and of course the signature comes at the end. And I think I'm pretty happy with how it turned out.